Philippians 4:7, and the peace of God, which transcends all understanding, will guard your hearts and your minds in Christ Jesus. This verse, I'm using my study Bible today because I didn't remember to record. So we'll get to have the benefit of the extra notes here. Verse 7 is prefaced, however you say that word, by verse 6. It says, "Do not be anxious about anything, but in every situation, by prayer and petition, with thanksgiving, present your requests to God." And as you can see in the study notes, it points out how God's peace is the opposite of anxiety. Because when you commit your cares to God, you don't need to worry about them anymore, as you trust that God is the one who's accepted your requests through prayer and petition. And the reason that you shouldn't be anxious is because, I mean, it's pretty obvious. If you've ever been anxious before, you've understood that it's not a pleasant experience and it's not useful. It doesn't do anything. So, two good reasons right there. And if we continue on into the notes on this verse, we can look further into the fact that God's peace transcends all understanding, because it is far beyond anything that humans can comprehend. The full dimensions of God's love and care are beyond human comprehension, because what God is capable of doing to comfort and to take care of your situation is far beyond what we understand on earth. That is another good reason why you should, in every situation, both the big and in the small, give your requests to God through prayer and petition. Because in every situation, God is capable of handling it, and He also wants to handle it. But you shouldn't think that there's a situation that's too small, and you shouldn't think that there's a situation that is too big, because there's no such thing as a situation too small or as a situation too big. Another thing we see about anxiety is that many times when we're anxious, it's self-centered. It's counterproductive. Why? Because when we're anxious, are thinking, a lot of times, what can I do to fix this situation? What can I do to make things, get things sorted out here? But in actuality, we're supposed to leave it up to God. Prayer and petition. Leave it to God so that we can have His peace, which is beyond our understanding, beyond the, whatever we can see, whatever we can understand about how the situation is going to be dealt with. Because God knows a lot more about our situation than even we know about our situation. He already knew that it was going to happen, and we certainly did not. We understand that anxiety or prayer are two opposing forces, because when you pray, you're giving something over to God, so you don't have to be anxious about it anymore. And giving thanksgiving at the same time is the antidote to worry, because when you're thankful for what you have, and for even what's going wrong, when you're thankful for the situation that you're in, it helps you, instead of worrying, to be grateful for what you do have to not worry about, and to give thanks in advance for whatever purpose God has put this situation in your life for, because God puts situations in your life for a purpose. God puts everything that you experience for a purpose. I'm not going to try to flip to this verse because I don't know if I would have time to do it. It's Romans 8:29. All things work for the good of those who love God and are called according to His purpose. And this is another, again, reason you can have God's peace, which transcends understanding, when you give it over to Him with thanksgiving and prayer and petition, because He'll work it out for your good.